so we need to make the game more modern, keep up with it, with still not change the nature of the product. That's what we're doing, and we appreciate your support with it. And with that, you got any questions? I'll do that. I have no idea where I was in my notes, because I just left the slide. Yes, sir.
How does licensing a theme affect your business, whether it's on the cost of the game, paying a licensing fee versus not having to do that for a regular game?
The licensing is, to me, exceptionally important. Some people don't like it, but we have to look at the real world. Licensing started with Lucas. It started to the extent it is now with Lucas. After Star Wars, you know, the studio owed him some money, so he went into Ladd, who's the president of the studio, said, all right, keep the money, give me all the ancillary rights. And the Ladd calls down and says, well, how much sell, you know, what do we do with these rights? Okay, you can have all the licensing rights, all the ancillary rights. And that was about $1 billion ago that happened. And it introduces a product, it does so much to it. If you make a stuffed mouse, you're not gonna sell it, unless you pay Walt, and then you're gonna sell it. It puts us in touch with other creative people, out of our just pinball ivory tower. The Simpsons people, Matt Groening's people did the art on The Simpsons. Arnold did the speech on Terminator. Seth MacFarlane did 2 hours for Family Guy. They tell us which are the important aspects of the title. There's a ball-eating dinosaur on Jurassic Park because Crichton knew that dinosaurs were hot and the ball should eat a dinosaur. He picked dinosaurs to write his book on cloning about as the vehicle. It puts you in touch with other creative people. Tales from the Crypt, there's a really cool scene in the Dot Matrix of somebody being cut in half with a chainsaw. And I mean, our guys were exceptionally creative to come up with that. Except I know it's Joe Pesci, I saw the episode. It gives you ideas, it gives you 4 corners within which to design. It also, if it's executed right, it will attract the player if it's the right title. We did Tron because you guys wanted Tron. We heard that you wanted Tron, you spoke up, we listened, we did Tron. We sold Tron, especially the LEs of it. It attracts the player. If it's done right, the game will be coherent, cohesive and coherent to what the title is. Maybe the most important thing is that if I call that French customer that's almost 10% of my business, and I say, I've got monsters at, on Green Street or something. Well, that's nice. Send me 2, I'll test it. And 2 months later, they might order something. If I call and I say, I got Transformers, they say, here's $300,000, send me a container. It's part of getting the business going. It's what the world is today. The world is licensed. There's a Lego store, Lego blocks, whatever they are, in the water tower in Chicago. And probably 60–70% of the Lego products are licensed. Star Wars and stuff like that. Why are they doing that? Why? Because that's what the world is today. So that's why we do it. It's more difficult because you got to get approvals and so forth, and sometimes, Avatar was all approved by
Jim Cameron.
No, actually, who's number 2? Who's the producer? Christ.
James.
No. It's well known. Any event, everything went to him. Cameron's the director. His buddy, he does everything with the same guy. It slips my mind right now. Close up. It was all. Everything it went to him. When we did the first Batman, we had to redo Kim Basinger's legs 9 times because she didn't like them. Keaton thought his jowls hung down too much. It was perfect like this. And we couldn't find Jack Nicholson for them to get approvals because he was depressed somewhere in the south of France. So there are problems with it, but it brings a lot to the table. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you were interviewed for the documentary special when lit. I was
Yeah.
wondering how you felt about the final product when you saw it, or how you see it.
Is that the one with Sam's belly hanging out of the shirt?
Yes.
Yeah. and the guy in France saying pinball is
Yes.
dead and so forth. I thought it was really not very positive to our industry, didn't help us at all. I thought it was very negative. It said we're dead. It said we're over. I don't think we're over. If I believed in what they had in that film, I'd stick with my Social Security payments. I don't think much of it. It was, what are you gonna do?
Then why'd you do that?
I didn't realize that they were gonna trash us. You don't have control of what somebody's gonna say, right? And we do, you know, you've seen us on TV and all kinds of stuff. And now we do PR. You know, one of the things we're doing is just so much more social networking. And ultimately, as we come to a new electronic system, our new board system will have Ethernet capabilities, which we won't stuff in the beginning. I mean, all kinds of stuff. I don't know what it does. But the idea is that one day you've got to get into the cloud. And the games have to do something more than they're doing.
John Landau on.
Thank you very
But,
much.
my question
Thank
is actually
you.
the.
This could have been a long night.
You said you go into the LEDs for the dot matrix display replacement?
Yeah.
Will they be color or are they gonna be generic orange?
Right now, we're still in a one color. Actually, 13 shades of orange is what we have. We do need to do something to replace, and maybe not the same on the LE and the Pro, but I don't want to just play film. That's not what we're supposed to do. We think pinball needs a backlash. Maybe once in a while do something different. But we need to come up with a standard. After we get done with the new electronics, then we talk about what happens next. But we're looking at some stuff now. But I'm so excited about having a bus system. It's the real world. Yes, sir.
I've been to 5 Dave & Buster's over the past
No
year
pinball.
and a half. Not a pinball machine.
Not a pinball
Not
machine.
Manhattan, not Baltimore,
Not
not
one,
here.
none of them.
Why?
None.
What the heck?
Dave & Buster's is a corporation that runs it like a grocery store. Great place, but a grocery store. And a grocery store computes earnings per square foot. There's no, we don't make enough to get shelf space with a pinball. We need to get them to make more money. We need you all to tell the managers, where's your pinball machine?
Well, I don't go in there for that reason.
But you need to
Yeah,
tell them
I
that.
walk through, but
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah, you all need to tell them that, but that's why. It's straight, it's grocery store, Walmart, whatever you wanna call it. How much per square foot it does it sell, that tells you how much square footage you're gonna get. Other operations that was getting more and more in GameWorks are looking at rounding the product that they offer, giving the whole entertainment experience. Because technically, I'm not technical, but really, there's so many dollars that are going in that arcade. The only coin machine in a Dave & Buster's is the one that takes your money and gives you the credit on the cards. It's not the video game or the redemption game or the pinball machine. They don't take coins. And there's only so much gonna go in that coin machine. And the same's true of a Walmart or anything else. People are gonna spend X bucks on that visit. And so, their theory I don't agree with, but then again, I don't know a bunch of Dave & Buster's. Yes?
I have 2 questions. One, I noticed that there's a company in Spain that made a limited release of an old Canasta game.
Yeah.
There's also Big Juicy Melons that Dennis What's His Face is doing. And I like those kind of games myself. I'm just curious, what's your thought on those EM style solid state new games that are
Dennis's game, which is very interesting, is they're going to hand make. They buy a couple old games we got of a particular model, remake it into their game.
do you see a future in that for Stern at all? Like some sort of a
No, actually, no. I mean, we'd love to for corporations to be able to make something, but they call us and say we want for our beer in Australia, we want games or I said great. We could re-art and everything. One of the games that we have, send me over $300,000-400,000. It's cost prohibitive. Now, if we ever made a kit of all we got to do is change a few things, but let's say we were to take a Transformers and we're going to change some of the characters to beer bottles or something like that to hit. Now we got to take out we do all the art, which is call it $100,000 there, and we got to take out all the dot matrix and all the sound and everything else, and it doesn't make sense anyway.
And my other question is, I've noticed that this company, Farsight Studios, is now licensing certain
Yes,
games to
yes.
virtual. What is your opinion on that?
But we did it.
Oh, yeah.
My opinion is it's a good idea. The reason we did it, and it's not a whole bunch of money involved, but we think that it's just one more way to get more people aware of the product, the pinball. In addition, at some point, maybe, and I don't know if we ever do this, maybe we could have them about the same time as our pinball machine, and then they'd be able to, help us in a current marketing of it. I don't know, it's just, our opinion is that this is not the 20th century, it's the 21st century. It's time to enter the 21st century.
I want to say thank you for that, because I can't find pinball machines
Thank you so much.
in my town.
Yeah.
I can't own them.
There you go. There you go. Okay. Yes, sir.
I think you just answered this. How did the retheming with Shrek Family Guy do for you?
The remake of it?
The retheming Shrek
Oh,
Family Guy?
yeah, that was that was expensive to do, but it worked out well. And Family Guy, which I love the game, doesn't sell in the export market. They don't know what it is. We were ahead of ourselves. We were ahead of ourselves in this country. We were ahead of the market. We did it too soon. But Shrek puts us in a whole different kind of location, both here and for some reason some of the export language. So, we made more Family Guy than Shrek. But it was, something to continue to reuse it.
Would you do it again?
Would we re-art again? And that was unique, and the reason that was unique is we had originally we're the only licensor of Disney, and many of us, Marvel's around, and now belongs to Disney, but we have the only Disney license for pinball machines. That's Pirates, and we have another one. We have the only DreamWorks license for Coin-Op, in both cases Coin-Op, and that's Shrek. We went to them, as did other people, wanting to do Shrek as a redemption game, and they thought, that's horrible gambling for children, this kind of thing. We'd like to do a pinball. I said, well, I can't do a Shrek pinball because no bar owner is going to bring that in. You take we have to have something that they think is going to appeal to 20 and 30-year-olds, and you go in with notoriously bad with things like Bugs Bunny. The title. We did Rocky and Bullwinkle, and we really, Joe Chemical and I, we watched this, and he's a decade younger than me, but in college we'd watch Fraction Fairy Tale and Rocky and Bullwinkle, whatever, and they were great. Unfortunately, when we came out with the game, it was just about when they were putting the comics on Saturday morning cartoons. Nobody wanted it anymore. No bar owner wanted it. It's a children's title. We don't make children's games, even though we need mommy to think we do. Okay? We're actually, we're in the bar business, and that's an old-time pinball guy. But we need to make all the comic book titles, not the South Park, Simpsons, that type of thing. All the kiddie comic, not the action hero comic book movie, but the kiddie cartoons, Popeye and all that stuff. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I blew that license. I lost it once, and Cameco wanted it back. Said, okay, what a mistake. It was just a horrible title, horrible. Go on market. Anything else, folks? Yes. Either one of you, go first.
There was rumors of perhaps a Harry Potter license.
I dreamed of she, J.A. Rowling.
Yes.
She is anti-drinking games going pubs.
So that kind of killed that. Right?
I've been trying for 5 or 6 years, and it's just I don't give up, but it's just ain't happening.
I guess.
And by the way, it's not a matter of, well, I'll give you a wheelbarrow of money. One is we don't have a wheelbarrow of money, and second is she's got a lineup of wheelbarrows of money. It doesn't matter.
I was under the impression, though, that Warner Brothers owned all of the rights to the characters, pictures, and everything, but she still has the final say?
She owns. Yes.
I've got a question. In video games, I think the term is localization, where they will tailor something to wherever it's being sent. Since you deal with France and Italy, is there any kind of localization you do to your machines?
Yeah, we used to do even more, but what we do is, scorecards, yes, instruction cards, yes. The dot matrix is in French, Italian, German, Spanish. We used to we used to translate the speech for a little while. We started that because I thought I could get pinball machines in Hispanic locations in America, and that does not, they don't, they're jukebox locations. And then the Germans thought, oh, we want that too. I will tell you that I don't speak a word of Italian, but I think the Sopranos in Italian is it really is. And the Italians, they think it's great. They think it's great. You know, it's really good. In the games, what we're doing in China is an NBA kit because they're NBA crazy, and we changed the black screen to put some of the stuff in. We planned, specifically made a lot of the lettering in black, knowing that we were going to go back and put some of the Chinese. Anybody else? Yes.
Any titles on the horizon you can tell just the people in this room and promise not to tell?
Yes, next question.
Do you believe in the future that any of your licenses that you get are actually going to promote that there's a pinball game coming out? Like, you know, these movies, a movie will come out, a pinball machine will come out, and there's no promotion. And my idea,
No
like,
promotion of it. There has been a little bit, nothing that's really worked out well. We've been in, you know, they've used us in contests as a giveaway and so forth. It basically costs us a game and goes nowhere.
because something like the UFC, they promote the hell out of everything related to them. They, you know, if they put their name on it, they could promote it on a pay-per-view, TV, everywhere possible.
You know, it's something
At least
we'd like
they try.
We talk about like to get there. Part of the problem is that licensing has become so important with such departments that, you know, in these movie companies, it's a different department.
Right.
You know, they don't even talk to each other. The promo people have nothing to do with the licensing people. They're selling over there and they're buying over there. They're not. You go to
So you're on your own.
Go to Budweiser and say, okay, I'm going to make a Budweiser pinball. It's going to go in all these bars and it'll be great promotion at people's home and all that. Just like those food stamps say how much, and they say how much you want to pay us for. You know, they want to be paid. Go to Miller, same routine. It's amazing. But you know, we tell them we're a big billboard going to be out there for 10, 20 years, and it doesn't get them at all.
UFC just brought up the thought, how did Royal Rumble do as a wrestling or fight type similar promotion? Did that sell good enough for you? Or
It was a long time ago. We were very happy with that game. We had a lot of trouble with it though, and that is that we did the artwork, all these muscle-bound guys, and then this big steroids thing comes out. We do all the artwork. Get those muscles off of there. And we redid the artwork, and by the way, take him off because he's out, you know, and this and that. It was hard. It was hard.
And do you think Star Trek would be a good pinball team in the future, or don't know?
Didn't Steve do a Star Trek once?
Yeah, he might have.
Didn't we do something like that once?
Yeah, he might have.
Yeah.
I mean, you did Simpsons, why not Futurama?
Yes, and they would love us to do Futurama.
So,
First of all, it's over. Second is that it never made the Simpsons level, and it never made it out of the country. I think it's bad in France and good in Italy, or vice versa. I talked to them recently about it, and I said, get me something that tells me to do it, and they can't. And remember, we're exporting more than half of our games. So it's very important what goes on in different parts of the world. I can't tell you every title we've done has been, you know, a home run. Sometimes you end up with a title and you got to just keep moving along. But that one is you know, I mean, again, Family Guy. We were the first licensor of Simpsons, and in those days, the first Simpsons, you know, the original one, not the Pinball Party. And in those days, we would be 2/3 export, 1/3 domestic. And in that case of that Simpsons, we were 2/3 domestic, 1/3 export. It still worked out very well, but it was they didn't know what the title was then. When we made Pinball Party, no problem. Everybody knew what it was. Simpsons had caught on. We were too early with that one. In this case, it would be too late, and it never did really make. One other interesting thing, and if you remember the Simpsons, interesting little things most of you all find interesting, I hope you do. The original Simpsons was a white cabinet, and to show you how much the world has changed, we made the ones for France with a blue cabinet, because they wouldn't take a white cabinet, because cigarette smoke turns the white cabinet yellow. Now there's no cigarette smoke in the bars. Except I see down here they have it in some places.
They have to sell more alcohol than food.
Is that it?
Yeah, alcohol
That's
food
it.
ratio.
Ah, okay. Alright.
Two things. Futurama is still airing, by the way. It still exists.
What
Like,
is-
Futurama, they still make episodes.
Are they still making it? I thought
And they brought it
yeah.
back. They keep canceling and bringing it back.
Okay,
It's like the
alright.
third time they brought it
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
And second, have you thought about like, cause you have all this like history of pinball, like you were very involved in it. Have you ever thought of like writing a book? 'Cause I mean, I think these are some interesting stories personally.
There's plenty of people writing books and they're better writers.
But you lived it.
Yeah. Hey, Roger. Roger's going to write another book. He'll write a book. He'll do it.
My son's writing.
He'll do it. No, I'm busy. Anybody else?
A question from Die Hard.
I don't know. It's possible. Yeah, yeah. Yes, sir.
Did you work with Williams back in the days? I see a lot of like Gary Williams is on the Stern playfield and stuff like that.
Once again, my father owned Williams part of the time with Harry. From 1947, he sold it in '64 to Seaburg. He stayed there until '69 or so, went to Bally 1 year as executive vice president. Harry's been with him all that time, but he had already bought Harry out. And went to the Valley for 1 year, came back to Williams, was there till '76. Harry was there with him when we started, when we took Chicago Coins Acid. Harry, helped design games for us there, and, just until he died. Until he died. Harry was always with us. Always with us. Always. Is that it, folks? Anybody else? Wore you out. Thank you very much. Thank you.
People would probably like to maybe get some pictures with you. We have at least one college newspaper that wanted to talk to you,
Oh, cool.
do a little bit with you, give you a chance as well. So thanks, everybody, and once again,
I'll send you
here's
an email.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah.